It's an election year and our final ballot is set. With the Donald in one corner and Hillary in the other, this is surely going to be the most negative presidential election campaign in our nation's history. Never before have we actually faced the reality posed by South Park of voting for a giant douche or a turd sandwich. But, dear viewer, there is one candidate who you most certainly should not vote for this fall. This candidate is trying to divide Americans against one another. This candidate supports policies that would destroy American jobs. This candidate eats away at the cultural fabric of our shared history. And this candidate would certainly lead to a less prosperous and free America. That candidate is Jim Hedges, the Prohibition Party's nominee for President of the United States. Hello, beer nerds. This is Beer by the Numbers. Oh, goodness. It's election season again. For some, a time to obsess over the nuances of our political process. For others, it's a time of annoyance as our two major parties break out the usual political tropes into attack ads like this.
Step right up, folks. See the mental marvel of the campaign, Mr. McGOP. He promises to solve all your problems. Ask him any question.
What about Korea?
We don't belong in Korea. Let the commies have it.
We should expand the war. Open a second front in China.
Wait a minute. We can't do both. We can't pull our troops out of Korea and invade China.
Go away, lady. You bother me. Any more questions?
What about aid to Europe?
I'll personally tear down the Iron Curtain.
Not another nickel down that rat hole. Let the commies have it.
That's double talk.
What are you complaining about? You get two policies for the price of one.
Well, no matter your opinion on this election, there are some major election opportunities and consequences for one of America's fastest growing industries, craft beer. So that's what we'll be looking at today. Let's dive in and turn our attention right back to candidate Hedges. If you're like me, you're surprised to hear that the Prohibition Party still exists in the United States today, and even more surprised that they have a presidential candidate. Fortunately, a quick glance at their website seems to indicate that they are just entering the information age. They have this awesome website built by Wix for free, and you too can build your own website for free with Wix. Wix, please sponsor me. See what a good job I did? Hashtag not sponsored. All great sponsorship opportunities aside, this website is hilariously bad. First of all, why is the party's mascot animal the drunkenly stumbling camel? Makes about as much sense as having Cheech and Chong as spokesmen for the citizens against the legalization of marijuana. Their platform page has an eagle, apparently the most sober and American of animals, and you have to scroll down to get to the 2012 platform, apparently. You know, there are just so many things wrong with this website. I'm just going to leave a link in the description below, and you can see for yourself. Fortunately for beer lovers around the country, Hedges is only on the ballot in Colorado, Mississippi, and Arkansas so far, so an election victory seems pretty out of hand. But one election-related beer you will be able to have in hand this fall is America by Budweiser. As craft beer continues to pull market share away from large corporate brewers, Anheuser-Busch InBev is taking a page out of baseball's book of failed marketing campaigns and going hyper-patriotic by renaming their beer America this summer all the way through the fall election campaign. This is some pretty obvious pandering to the most patriotic citizens out there, but it's ironic that Anheuser-Busch, a Belgian beer conglomerate, is the one producing America the beer. A company shipping jobs and profits overseas? I think I can already hear Trump yelling about building a wall somewhere between us and Belgium. Not really sure where that's gonna go though. But all joking aside, there are some serious opportunities for the craft beer industry at stake in this election. First, the Craft Beverage Modernization and Tax Reform Act was introduced in the summer of 2015 and is currently making its way through committees in both houses of Congress. This bill is broad, but it would restructure federal excise taxes, modernize labeling requirements, and ease certain restrictions on moving beer between bonded facilities. Through some intense grassroots lobbying, most likely consisting of drunken tweets to our elected representatives, the bill now has 44 Senate co-sponsors and 253 co-sponsors in the House. If you want to learn more about the bill, or just want a good excuse to drunkenly tweet at senators, I've posted a link in the description with more details. Besides that important bill, there are a myriad of other state and local regulations surrounding beer and how it gets from the capable hands of a local brewer to your glass. If you're a true beer lover, take 30 minutes between now and November to look at how candidates in your area feel about craft beer. Craft beer is a growing industry employing hundreds of thousands of Americans, so it's economically important aside from being filled with some awesome people and great beer. I believe John F. Kennedy summed it up perfectly when he said something like this: "Ask not what your beer can do for you, but what you can do for your beer." If you enjoyed this episode, why not cast your vote with a thumbs up below? And if you want to be alerted each time we tap a fresh episode of Beer by the Numbers, hit that subscribe button. Stay curious, beer nerds, and as Andrew Jackson once said, never trust a person who doesn't drink beer.